Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all appropriate ages, we're going to have a conversation. But before we get into that, we shall see what do we have at ease today.
Hey.
30-minute Cuba survival, easy. 100 Xmas units, easy. I already killed one of them because I went and did Maru's bizarre Iatan hunt earlier. 6 red servo fish, 500 enemies, 150 enemies with viral, 150 bullet jumps, that was from yesterday's daily, 3 assassination missions, Mercury, Captain Vor, you're about to get bullied hard. 6 red gems are all in planes, 30 Xmas units. Cred offerings, anything decent. Baruch's Moreau helmet. Pardon me. Meh.
It's time for Nora to say goodnight.
Or, in my case, Nora, it's good morning. It's Monday morning here. Yep, I actually went and did up to level 29, got another Umbral Former. Oh yeah, let's talk about that for a second, right? Because you can get Aura Former. Blueprints. You can get Aura Former in bundles. Just like you can regular Former. Where is that for Umbral Former? Why is that still not a thing? And now that I've said that, let's talk. And it's going to be
Operator,
my
did you hear
opinion.
that? It said
Ordis, shut up.
cosmic background radiation is a riot.
And you can take my opinion as you want. You can take it or leave it. You can agree, you can disagree, you can like, you can hate. I do not really care. Here's how it goes. We all need to stop and think for a second. A lot of videos out there, even the majority of my own these days, have been, well, not really me as such. Like, I've done a bit of fashion frame and messing around with capture as a gimmick. But there are people out there that talk about fashion frame as endgame. Making endgame builds, endurance run being endgame. That's not what we need to be discussing in forums or in any community page right now, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? I'm about to shock you. There is no end game. The game itself is still constantly being fixed, updated, developed, progressed, evolving. There is no end game yet. You can say you've got an end game build and end game weapon sets for the current state of the game, but then they may bring out something in the future that just wipes the floor with your build, and you go, oh shit, now I've got to think of something new. Yeah. There is no end game. Fashion frame is not an end game. It just is a way of making yourself look cool. I mean, Excalibur Hera Spawn looks cool, but that's not end game. My Hildren looking like Bumblebee, my Gauss looking like the Flash, my other Excalibur looking like Hayden Tenno. Looks cool, it's not endgame. Endurance runs. Doing survival for multiple hours, doing defense for multiple waves, doing interceptions for multiple rounds. It's cool. Get a lot of rewards, but it's not endgame. Because sooner or later, that mission has to end. It's like the never-ending story isn't the never-ending story. Yes, I just used some logic from The Simpsons. There is no endgame, get it out your heads. Because it was never in mine. What should we be focusing on though? Reworks, fixes to make the game actually work. And I'm not talking about Railjack. I'm actually going to give Railjack a break from that, because Railjack is still being added to, still being expanded with updates, still getting hot fixes, even though it's, even after the last hot fix that we got on console, it's still broken and buggy as shit. And they didn't even add intrinsics to the mission bonuses. Come on, lads. Come on, DE, what the fuck are you playing at? But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to give Railjack a break. I'm not going to say anything about it. It's still being worked on. It's still being expanded on with a couple of new, well, that new Scarlet update that comes out. They're going to add sentience and squad link finally. So what can we talk, what should we be talking about that DE needs to hear about? I know. Host migration issues and network not responding issues should be at the top of the list, shouldn't it not? I believe it should. And so do some people in the forums that I checked this morning, talking about how host migration issues have cost people focus, XP, rewards at the end of missions. Network not responding has done the exact same thing, and it does it to me. And I've been experiencing network not responding issues when I play Warframe for a prolonged amount of time during the day. And that's been going on for almost 2 years when the Sacrifice update came out on PlayStation. How has it taken that long to fix these two issues? Is it due to, because there are no, as far as I'm still aware, there are no dedicated servers, it's all still peer-to-peer. Is that why? If so, then they need to come up with a better fucking idea. Because like I said in the previous video, one day those host migration issues and network not responding will be the reason I leave this game. So yeah, they should be at the top of the list of things we need to get addressed with DE. Host migration, network not responding. They need to be addressed. What else could be improved or reworked? Kuvalich still needs some work doing to it, if we're honest. Yeah, that's still not the best, isn't it? Conclave still needs a rework. More maps, more game modes, a PvE faction in the mix, add Frame Fighter to it, because Frame Fighter doesn't give you anything. And I still haven't found a single person to play Frame Fighter with. I came close to, either on Wednesday or Thursday, finding one individual finally, but then when I went to go and select Loki, he quit. I was that close to playing Frame Fighter since its release. And I've been trying. So yeah, Conclave needs a rework. Kuvalich still needs working. Railjack still needs working, but we already have kicked the crap out of that mode. I mean, if they're still gonna be that broken, and host migration network not responding issues are still gonna be around by the time the new war comes out, it's not gonna run properly. Let's face it. Another thing I will talk about, just to top this all off with, is because I did a video saying why I welcome the nerf of Saren, and someone this morning commented on that by the name of Samus Aran. I don't expect you younger gamers out there to know who that is. And they actually came up with a genius idea. He or she. Instead of nerfing frames and nerfing weapons, how about DE make a new good level farm that prevents ability spamming? Which would really be a kick in the teeth for all you Saren Spore Miasma spanners and you Revenant Light Show spammers. A new game mode like Hydrant that acts like Elite Sanctuary Onslaught but with heavier ability cooldowns, thus preventing ability spamming. Heavier ability restriction, but also the new best XP farm. Encouraging new players and old with a new fun tile set that puts an emphasis on XP grinding with a massive ability restriction, like how they made the new credit farm the Index. And just buff the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught cooldown ability restriction. Boom. Problem solved. And I must say, this person is obviously smarter than me, because I would just like to welcome the nurse. I agree that this should be implemented. And if anyone watches up to this point, get that over to DE. Talk about it amongst yourselves. Bring it up on forums and communities, the whole gamut. Tell them to fix fucking host migration and network not responding while you're at it. Because it's pissing a lot of people off. Not just me. Get in-game out your heads, get the fashion out your heads, make your character look as cool as possible, then just stop. Only do it if you're going to do it as a gimmick. There are more pressing matters at hand for Warframe. Yeah, speaking of Kuvalich, I doubt we'll ever see Kuvalich is in charge of galleons in Railjack, so I don't know why the fuck that was in the Tenno reveal. I think that's the only thing from Railjack in the future that we'll never see. So by the time they finish getting Railjack worked and as working as it should be by 2039, we still won't see Kuvalich is in charge of galleons. That's the only thing I see being missing from Railjack from what we were expecting in the end. The rest of it, I'm sure, will start working fine soon. And with that being said, I'm gonna have breakfast, then I'm gonna play Crisis Brigade because it just got an update this morning, and then maybe do a bit more No Man's Sky because that got an update last week. Yeah, I'm taking a break from this game for a while. I did a lot on this last week, and I shall see you all later.